Well, it seems cash in transit heists are increasing. eNCA's Nickolaus Bauer has been crunching the numbers. He joins me now in studio. Nickolaus Bauer, thank you so much for talking to me. The numbers don't lie, do they? What are you gleaning from the statistics of cash in transit heists?
Well, in the advent and era of fake news and alternative facts, these facts are cold, hard and frightening. In 2014, 180 cash in transit heists were reported in the South African legal jurisdiction. And just 3 years later, that's now 370. So it's a massive spike of 105%. The most alarming thing, though, Tullis, is the last time we saw numbers like this was the late 90s and early noughties, where we did have a serious problem with cash in transit heists. And it just seems as though criminals and criminal gangs that are involved in CI teams are emboldened to such a point now that they'll brazenly do it when and how they wish.
Yeah, in fact, I think around 2010, thereabout, we may have reached one of the lowest points in terms of the statistics. But that was coupled by an increase in other forms of, cash crimes, such as ATM bombings. What are the experts telling you, and what is government saying about it?
Well, look, it's very, very worrying. The SAPS, especially the SAPS here in Gauteng, they've acknowledged that there is a spike in CRT cash and transit heists, right? But they're saying that along with that, there has been also a spike in the rest of suspects. Are we seeing convictions, though? That is another story completely. We didn't get any cold data on that. Former head of the Hawks down in KZN, Johan Boysen, he now works for one of these security companies that are part of asset management, financial asset management in these cash and transit vehicles. And he says that the sad fact of the matter is that a lot of the investigations lead to police being involved in these instances of cash and transit heists. And also we even saw a couple of weeks ago there was an instance where a member of the South African National Defence Force was involved. And then you can start to understand why these instances are carried out with such military precision and people carried out by people that A, look to be very, very comfortable with firearms, but also comfortable with handling explosives.
Yeah, in fact, as you mentioned explosives, I mean, the video from that Boksburg heist this morning is absolutely frightening in terms of the levels of violence there. What are the experts saying about the amount of violence that is used in these heists? Because, you remember, as I was talking about the phenomenon when there seemed to be a spike in ATM bombings, it was thought, this is a soft target and easy to quite get away with it. But now, in terms of cash and transit heists, the security companies have also been upping their security around the movement of cash. Does that have an impact in the amount of violence that is applied?
Fact of the matter is that there's no victimless crime. But when you bomb an ATM, there's no warm body involved. There are warm bodies involved who are driving cash and transit vans who get caught in the crossfire or in some very, very tragic instances lose their lives in the line of their duties. And I suppose there's no direct inferences that have been made by experts in terms of why the violence is on the increase. But Johan Boysen also did say that along with the numbers, there's also the extent of violence that is being meted out to these cash and transit vehicle drivers and people that are ferrying the money from point A to point B. And I suppose at the end of the day, this is why we're seeing a lot more violence, because cash and transit companies are trying to protect their assets, but at the same time, if they continually arm their guards to the teeth, well, then the firepower is going to be met on the other side by these criminal gangs who are operating in a one would seem a carte blanche manner.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming through, Nickolaus Bauer, giving us some perspectives there on the situation with cash and transit heists. The video from this morning, absolutely shocking.